Okay. I know before I've seen a lot of people ask about what to do on like running your fan and fuel pump on Speeduino. Well, and people telling them change the pin outs or the pin number in the firmware. And tonight I'm going to, I guess, give a little rundown of how you're supposed to do this. Alright, the first thing that you need to do is know this right here. You see the cursor is the 40-pin IDC connector. Alright, and you have to know exactly which one of these you wired your fuel pump or your fan to. Alright, like me, alright, I have my fuel pump and fan tied to these here. HC1, high current 1 out, high current 2 out. Alright, I know high current 2 and high current 1. Alright, so I go across here to the schematic. And right here is the schematic of the high current 1 and 2 out. Okay, high current 1, high current 2. Now you got to know which one you wired to which pin. Me, I wired my fan to high current 1 and my fuel pump to high current 2. Okay, and so since I wired my fuel pump to high current 2, says right here CPU D4, that means pin 4. And I wired my fan to high current 1, which means CPU D6. This is the actual pin assignment on the mega board. And I wrote it down right here. Fuel pump 4, fan 6. That's the pin numbers. Okay, I'm making this video to some people that may be confused about this. I've seen it asked all the time. So I'm trying to make a video. It may not be very good, but it'll be alright. Okay, high current 1, high current 2, CPU D4, CPU D6. Just write those down. Know which one you wired to here or to here, or whatever you wire it to. Look on the schematic and say, okay, I wired it to this. This is the respective pin on the Arduino board. And you look right here, get a little better close up, and CPU D, I'm a little bit shaky, CPU D4, and you'll see CPU D6. Alright, right there. Okay, and this is the schematic okay, let's go back to here and show you how you are supposed to change it in the firmware. Okay, alright, let me go to Speeduino, because I am updating my firmware to the latest. So I've got to make changes to the firmware to make sure my fuel pump and my fan are correct. Okay, I got the firmware loaded up here. I go up here, go down to, oh, not sensors. Trying to do this with a phone, and utilities. Okay. Oh. Alright, and then you go down and find your board here, pin mappings per version 1, shield, 2, 3, I'm on version 4, okay? Now, let's go down here and find, okay, pin fan. Right here. Okay, I know that I have my fan wired to pin 6. It is set at 47 at the moment, right there. Alright, let's find, okay, since I know I've got it wired to 6, let's see what 6 is. Okay, that's idle right here, is already at 6. So, this is what we're going to do. You take and change the 6 to 47, then put your 6 down here, because no pins can be the same or it's not going to work right. Okay, now let's go to fuel pump. Let's find fuel pump. Fuel pump right here, 45 is what it says the pin mapping is. This is the pin that will output on the Arduino. Well, we need our fuel pump to output on pin 4. And see, now pin 4 is for VVT. We don't need that. So, we're going to change VVT to 45. And then we will change our fuel pump pin to pin 4. And that's all there is to it. And after that, I made those two little changes. My fuel pump pin now is 4, and my fan is 6. And I've done this several times with lots of firmware, so I know this works. And save it. Okay. Now the pin mapping is correct for my setup. Hopefully this will clear up any confusion. I've seen some people ask on how do I get my pins right? How do I make it output? You know, I can't get the fuel pump to work in. And everybody says, look at the pin mapping. Set the pin mapping properly in your firmware. And you also have to do this in Tuner Studio. You have to go in and put the right pin number in Tuner Studio also. So, that's how I change my pin mapping. Hopefully this helps some people out. Thank you. Bye.